Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Hager number 305. This is a hinge reinforcement plate. Very common sort of item that is going to be purchased by door shops, hollow metal door shops, fabrication shops, or people who fabricate or remanufacture or customize or however work on metal doors and frames in the field or in a shop setting naturally. And this is their hinge reinforcement plate, which would be typical for use in a door. You could use it in a frame as well. Generally, if you're doing a new installation in a frame, you'd want a mortar box behind here, but that could be fabricated, with some steel or however you go about doing it, or other ways. So this is a hinge reinforcing plate. People would use this if they're going to relocate a hinge or cut a hinge into a door where it didn't previously exist. 10 inches the overall width of the plate. Overall, okay, the length is 10 inch, the width is 1.5 inches. Just to the offset, you can see it's about 2 3/8, about 7.5 down to the bottom. The crucial thing to know is that first of all, the gauge of the material is 0.154, so it's 5/32 of an inch thick, so it's quite heavy and substantial. That is actually, I'll tell you what gauge that is. I'm going to guess it to be 12 gauge, but let me take a look. No, I'm way off. That's closer to 7 gauge. 8 gauge. 8.5 gauge. So it's quite heavy. The crucial thing to know is the offset. The offset is 0.074. And that's the distance between here and here. Okay, so 0.074. And this is intended for standard weight hinges, which is 134 thousandths. So you've got 0.074 here, but when you add this to the back side of, say, a 16 gauge frame or to a door, the gauge is going to be about 60 thousandths. So you're going to be right at 134 thousandths total offset from the face of the frame or the door down to where the hinge would sit, which is a standard weight hinge. So the 305 is intended for standard weight hinges. The 4-hole pattern is considered template, standard. Those are obviously tapped for 12/24 screws. Okay, and it's a very typical item used in those sort of shop settings. Just steel. They're rather significant in weight. They weigh about 3/4 pound each. There's a link below this video to the cut sheet and the product catalog. The cut sheet really isn't much to look at. The product catalog is handy because, well, it's handy if you need a cut sheet. Other than that, there's nothing really else there that's important for you to know, except that you can see a couple of other interesting items like their Molly jack nuts and their sleeve anchors. Hager is a comprehensive manufacturer of trim and auxiliary hardware, not only plates like this, but weather stripping, push and pull hardware, kick plates, lock sets, exit devices, door closers, aluminum continuous geared hinges, sliding door hardware, and then of course their namesake, Hager Hinge. They're a comprehensive manufacturer of commercial and architectural and residential hinges, and that's what people really know Hager, I think, first for. If you have any questions on the Hager number 305, weld-in type hinge reinforcement plate, or any other Hager product, please feel free to reach out to us.